Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And tomorrow is the day. The day that, some people are waiting for, maybe because they're unaware, but, I'm certainly waiting for it because it's content. But the 3.5 anniversary will start tomorrow, Friday. I will be on YouTube live streaming, reacting to the dev live stream, and then right after they're done, the banners will drop. So the live stream starts at 4 in the morning for me on the west coast of the U.S., and they generally take about 2 hours. So at 6 a.m. ish, the banners will go live, and we will just transition straight into summoning for the new characters. But because we have one day left, we have a countdown which has Benimaru and Shion, who don't have the most character representation, but they do have some recent-ish representation. So it shouldn't be that hard to put together two teams to use them on. So let's get started and let's team build. All right, so easy is New Year's Blessing, physical focused team. Protector Shion, over a year old at this point, can still, put in some work. Definitely power crept at this point, but for newer to mid-game players, she's going to do just fine. And then we've got Dark Benimaru giving the physical buff, and he's going to buff up Rimuru. Everyone on this team is meant to buff up Rimuru, including Shion, so we're using Shion and Benimaru in a support capacity, going into Calamity Orc, which does have an orange orb nerf, but only for a couple of turns, and I think because we have rainbow orbs, we can kind of get away with it. We don't need to use everything immediately. And I don't know if the orange orb nerf is immediate, or if we can just wait until turn 4 or something. Yeah, no, looks like we're fine here. But unfortunately, we didn't get 3 Rimuru orbs, which honestly isn't that big of a deal. So you know what? Let's do this. Let's bring Benimaru in, and let's just bring Milim in while we're at it. And then we can use the orb change here, and well, I mean, they're not Rimuru orbs, so we're guaranteed 3 next turn. The traits will get us access to Shion. Okay, that's really good. All right, so there's the orange nerf. So they're going to be unnerfed on turn 4? Yeah, turn 4, which is fine. So we could do this. Take Benimaru out for Diablo. Use the giveaway and then the rainbow convert. Boom. Boom. And then we don't actually need to use Shion right now because we're going to make it back. But I guess since we're going to have so much protection gauge, we might as well do it anyways. And then we'll get the guaranteed crit, guaranteed synergy out of it. I mean, we can try and shoot for a Benimaru ult. He's not going to do much on this team because he's not New Year's Blessing, and he's certainly not a light character. But I'm trying to think of another place that we can have a Benimaru nuke. I guess we can go into the current beatdown battle, technically. Yeah, we're going to make back almost all of that, plus the EX ult, plus all these points. So this is working out pretty well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 31k a hit for Rimuru. The power of guaranteed crit, guaranteed synergy. Alright, there's the stun. Can't do anything about that. So this is just a burner turn. The oranges will be unnerfed next turn. So let's just get these Diablos out. That'll give us a double Shion. We'll get 167 points now. And then we will apply the attack and the weakness strike. And then we'll bring Benimaru in for Diablo. We'll use the physical buff, and then we'll send Rimuru away. And that gives us this. The orange is no longer nerfed, so that's good. We can make back all these points, plus get a full hand of unnerfed oranges now. This should get us actually the Benimaru ult. So yeah, let's just use the ult swap because it's going to give that 10% gauge increase, which will just help out a little bit extra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that works. 140 points, which means we actually have 170, which is more than enough of what we're going to need for nuking here. And Rimuru should have no problem taking care of this. The only thing is, Rimuru's gonna miss something. Because we have these characters up front. This is probably the least impactful one. The Milim ult, or the Milim convert, Milim buff, debuff, sorry, my bad. So let's do this. Let's take Milim out of here for Diablo, use the crit resistance down, and then we'll bring in Rimuru for Diablo. So, and then we just have to use this, and that leaves us with 50 points to do whatever, which we're not going to do anything with. But we do need the guaranteed crit, guaranteed synergy. We'll change these 3 green orbs for Shinsha, and we'll send 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The oranges are nerfed again. Okay, good to know that kicks in. But I don't think I've used BENIMARU today, but we'll turn this off just in case. So I don't really care about Shinsha's ult. 242, alright, whatever. The BENIMARU ult, he will have all of the buffs minus the personal buffs from Rimuru, right? And the physical buff, because we used that a turn prior. So you can put it on Rimuru. He does 142. That's pretty terrible. Okay. And then Rimuru should be able to clean up. He's in true attribute unbound status. He's got most of the buffs. He's only missing, what, 20% synergy power, which is not a lot. So he should be able to kill. There we go. Okay, 2.4 million right there. Looking good. The power of BENIMARU and Shion supporting him enables him to do such damage. That's decent. Let's do a different team build now. Alright, we've flipped the script to where Shion is now the battle unit and BENIMARU is the protector. So Ogre's Pride team, she is actually on Ogre's Pride, unlike her protector piece counterpart. But we're going to go into a very old stage, old Tempered Edge, so this stage isn't very strong, but the aspect of this team is a blue stacking team, and Shion with her EX Unbound Awakening, whatever you want to call it, she has an EX ult, and she's an AoE character, and she's space, and she's got Pierce, which this stage has crit resistance, and Pierce will feed into what BENIMARU is doing, which is on turn 8, the 100% Pierce power. But we do have to get to turn 8 first, and that can take a hot minute sometimes, especially in a stage where you are binded for 2 turns, which makes things not as fun. So let's see how this first turn plays out. We might have to reset for some decent RNG. Let's do this. Okay, and then let's bring Shion in for Momiji. And you know what? Let's just leave this. We've got both of our orb changers up front. And then we're all going to be binded, so not a super huge deal. Violet also being type advantage will help. Well, okay. We do get a stack of BENIMARU. And blues are nerfed. Only in damage, though, not in gauge. So that's not nearly as bad as I was thinking. Okay, let's just do the convert there. Let's do the first stack of Protector BENIMARU. So he is stacking 10% ult damage every single time, and then once you hit turn 8, he will add in an extra 100% Pierce power. That's a temporary 1-turn buff, so you have to apply it every single turn afterwards. But you will also continuously get more stacks of ult damage. So it means that once you hit turn 8, you're gonna do solid damage. And when Ogre's Pride originally came out last year in September-ish, they did a butt ton of damage. Like, a butt ton. We had not seen power creep like that explode until they came out, and Momiji was doing 30 million or something on the nuke. It was just unheard of at the time, that kind of stuff. Alright, let's get the green out of here. 87 points means we don't actually have enough to use both orb changes next turn, so we're getting shafted on the orbs. Holy crap. Wow, the game is like, oh, you're running a blue team? We got you. Okay, well, let's do this. Now we finally have enough points to use both orb changes. Whether or not it's going to work is a different story. Okay, thank God. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use the Soe convert because he'll change any 2 orbs. Boom. And then we'll bring Shuna in for Violet, and then we can alt swap, and then we can put the Enamor on, which will give us some extra alt gauge, and this should work out fairly well. And now we just need to, 1, get an EX alt, which shouldn't be that hard nowadays. We are running a alt gauge on Blue Charm as well, just to speed up that process. We'd probably be in a lot better state with a lot more stacks if we had actually gotten good luck, but we're going to get a little bit extra here because of the Enamor, and we can put it on again next turn if we really felt like it, but we don't need to. We still have 2 more turns to build up, and the Enamor lasts for 3 turns, so we're going to be pretty good here. So alt swap, we can bring Violet in now, and we can just use her orb change instead. Yeah, this will work out, and just trying to get more and more stacks. Blue damage is no longer nerfed. Okay, we can... Well, I do want to watch the SHION ult, so... One more day, guys. One more day. Tomorrow, we will be up super goddamn early in the morning to watch the dev live stream. Again, this is not the team. This is not the units that you should be summoning for that come out tomorrow. You should still be skipping this meta. The warrior, these 2 characters that are coming out will not be what I recommend you summon for unless they are waifu over meta kind of things. You should all be waiting still for the 24th of April. That is the rule. So let's orb change. Boom, okay. Soe can come in for Violet. We have the EX alt for SHION. So what we could do is use the weakness strike buff. Well, yeah. Alt swap orb change. I don't think we're going to be able to use every single skill that we have on this team just because we have an inferior amount of stacks. Because the first, 4 turns really decided to screw with us. But it will definitely be enough to kill. Well, 434, we might have enough, actually. We might have to miss maybe the Shuna buff, because the weakness strike, we could use other things instead. So let's do some... Ooh. What happened there? A stun? A 1-turn stun, and a 1-turn attack seal. Well, I don't really want that. Alright, well, let's just get some extra points then. So alt swap, boom, and take Shuna out for Violet, use that orb change, and I guess we'll just get another turn in for funsy onesies. Okay, 1 more stack, which we're actually going to get 2 more stacks. Now we're going to get the 100% pierce power if we were piercing it all, but we're not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, yeah, double stack, 500 points means that we definitely have enough to do everything. Definitely, and this will just be an embarrassing number for an embarrassingly weak stage. As long as we don't die, because we've been in here. Okay, there we go. So, magic buff, 80 points. Alright, Momiji in for Violet. The Pierce and the Synergy buff. Boom. Boom. Alright, let's bring Shuna in. The Weakness Strike buff. You don't have an alt either. Oh, unfortunate. Alright, and that should be the 300 skill points, so we have a fully maxed out Soe skill, and then we'll do 2 more stacks of Benimaru, so another 20% alt damage. The 100% Pierce power does not stack on each other since they're temporary, so it's just going to be a flat 100%, but that's still quite a lot of power. And then we've got an EX alt. So SHION has 8 stacks of Benimaru, and then we've got 14% Pierce power from the trait, 100% magic, guaranteed pierce, guaranteed synergy, 100% weakness strike, 70% attack, 100% synergy power, and 100% pierce power. Does 1 orb one-shot? It sure does. 353,000 damage. Alright, and this will be the end of the video, the end of the countdown series, even. Because, again, tomorrow we will get the banner right after the dev live stream ends. Look at this horrendous cooking. 3.6 million damage. certainly, right? Yeah. Certainly 3.6? Yeah, 3.6. I think. Numbers. I also am kind of buzzed right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, but there is the countdown quests complete countdown from day 7 all the way down to 1. Let me know what you guys think, but that's it from me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.